The knock came at 6:12 a.m. Sharp, impatient, official. I already knew it was her. 3 years teaches you patterns. Even absence has a rhythm. I opened the door slowly. 2 men in uniform stood behind her, rigid, unreadable. Military police. That was new. That was bold. But she wasn't looking at them. She was looking past me. Looking for him. "I'm here to take my son," she said, like she was picking up dry cleaning. I smiled. That confused her. Good. 3 years earlier, she didn't knock. She dumped him. Rain soaked through his thin jacket as he stood on my doorstep, clutching a small bag like it contained his entire world. Because it did. "I'll be back," she said, already halfway to the car. "Just take care of him?" No explanation. No hesitation. Just gone. Dubai, I found out later, with a man who liked expensive watches and cheap loyalty. Her son didn't cry when she left. That was the first thing that broke me. He just stood there, feverish, quiet, watching the car disappear like he already understood something I didn't. I took him inside. I told myself it was temporary. I was wrong. We weren't always like this. Me and her. She used to be the one who stayed. When we were younger, she was loud, reckless, full of plans. I was the one who cleaned up after her. The one who fixed things. She used to laugh and say, "You'll always be there, won't you?" And that's what made it hurt. Not the abandonment. The certainty. She knew I wouldn't say no. The first night, his fever spiked. I remember sitting beside him, counting seconds between his breaths. The room smelled like medicine and fear. "Is she coming back?" he whispered. I didn't lie. "I don't know." He nodded like that made sense. 10 years old, already learning disappointment. That was the moment something inside me shifted. Not anger, not yet. Something colder. At first I expected a call, a message, anything. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into silence. I started noticing things. Bank transfers from her account stopped. Her number? Disconnected. Mutual friends? Suddenly distant. It wasn't just abandonment. It was erasure. She hadn't just left her son. She had removed herself from existence. I found the first real clue by accident. A tagged photo online. A rooftop bar in Dubai, neon lights. Expensive champagne. She was laughing. No trace of the woman who left her sick child behind. No trace of responsibility. That was the moment heartbreak ended. And planning began. I didn't confront her. I didn't call. I didn't beg. I built. First I got him stable, doctors, treatment, routine. He needed structure, safety. Then I made it official. Temporary guardianship turned into legal custody. It wasn't easy, but abandonment has a paper trail if you know where to look. 3 months of silence becomes 6. 6 becomes a year. Courts don't like ghosts. I documented everything. Medical bills, school records, therapy sessions, every missed birthday, every unanswered attempt to reach her. Not out of spite, out of precision. Money was the next move. She had left debts behind. Small ones, careless ones. I didn't pay them. I traced them. Accounts, connections, the man in Dubai, his business wasn't clean. It didn't take much to pull that thread. Information is leverage. And I was patient. He started calling me dad after a year. I didn't correct him. I didn't encourage it either. I just stayed. That's all he ever needed. Consistency. Something she never understood. By the second year, I wasn't reacting anymore. I was positioning. Legal documents finalized. Custody secured. Contingency plans in place. If she ever came back, she wouldn't be walking into the same life she left. She'd be walking into mine. And then this morning she returned. With uniforms. With authority. With the audacity to think she still had rights. "I have legal claim," she said, her voice tight but confident. One of the officers stepped forward. "Ma'am has filed a request to regain custody." I nodded. Of course she had. I stepped aside slightly, just enough for her to see inside. He was at the table eating breakfast, calm, safe, unafraid. He didn't run to her. He didn't even stand. He just looked indifferent. That hit her harder than anything I could have said. "Come here," she called. He didn't move. I said, "Come here." He looked at me. Not for permission, for reassurance. I gave him a small nod. "Stay." He stayed. I turned back to her. "That's interesting," I said calmly. "Because legally, you don't have a son." Her expression cracked. Just slightly. What? I reached for the folder I'd prepared 2 years ago. Always be ready. Abandonment case, I said, handing it to the officer. Filed, reviewed, approved. Full custody transferred permanently. The officer flipped through the pages. His posture changed. So did hers. You disappeared for 3 years, I continued. No contact, no support, no intent to return. I told you I'd be back, she snapped. You left a sick child at a doorstep, I said quietly. That's not a promise. That's evidence. Silence. Heavy, final. She tried one last time, stepped inside, took a few desperate steps toward him. Sweetheart, I'm your mother. He flinched. Not toward her. Away. That was it. That was the moment she lost. Not in court. Not on paper. Right there. In his eyes. The officer closed the file. Ma'am, he said firmly, you have no legal standing here. Her entire world collapsed in that sentence. She looked at me then. Really looked. Trying to find the version of me she remembered. The one who fixed things. The one who forgave. She didn't find him. I smiled and said, you should have come back sooner. Because this wasn't revenge built on anger. It was built on time. On patience. On every quiet night she wasn't there. When they left, she didn't fight anymore. She just faded. Like she had 3 years ago. Only this time she had nothing to come back to. I closed the door. Locked it. He looked at me from the table. Is she gone? I nodded. Yeah. He went back to eating. Calm, unshaken. Safe. I used to think justice was loud. Explosive. Dramatic. It's not. It's quiet. It's paperwork. It's patience. It's building a life so solid that when someone tries to take it from you, they realize it was never theirs to begin with.